Okay. So you know what this is? What does it look like? Huh? Is it a hockey stick?
Yeah.
Right? Right? So this is not really high. Let me fix it. So maybe it's like this, right? Right? That's more like it?
Yeah. Like a sideways hockey.
Okay, so this is called the hockey stick. So whenever you think of a hockey stick, think of like levels in life, right? So for example, right now, like you're just starting off. You're starting off, right? You're starting off. So like you're like barely right here. And so the hockey stick is basically like this is like a life cycle. So these are divided up, right? So you can choose, this can be 1 year, this can be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or this can be 5 years, 10 years, however you decide to multiply, right? Well, right now, this is your career. So your career is based off a hockey stick, right? So right now, you know, you're starting off at the bottom. You're starting off at the bottom. You're starting off at the bottom, right? And so you're starting off right here, okay? And so the hockey stick strategy is basically like you have to put in these years of work. You have to put in this work before you start to see the result, right? And so it's gonna happen like, and this when this happens is when your money starts to like double. Like you start to know you're fucking badass. And so the way that you accelerate this is you can come to work and you can learn as you're going, or you can learn while you're here, but then also you can practice when you're not working. Right? Just like athletes, like they don't just show up to the game and play, like they're practicing every day, right? And so how do you practice in the career?
How would I practice?
How would you practice to get better at what you're doing?
Practice at home.
Practice, read, watch videos, books, like podcasts, whatever that has to do with the industry, right? And what that does, it speeds up this cycle. So right now, for example, you can say, okay, it's gonna take me, this can be like, and you can break down, right? So this can be 1 year, 2, it might take you 10 years before you decide to start making money because you're learning at a regular pace. You're not trying to advance it, you know what I'm saying? So in order to advance it, you have to say, okay, I'm gonna go in 100%, I'm gonna commit. Like, for example, you're gonna be a leader, right? And so what are you doing to be a better leader?
Reading a book about leadership.
And so if you read a book every month, in 1 year, you're gonna be fucking badass, right? But imagine if you didn't read the book. How long would it take you to be a leader?
Never.
You might never be. Your life goal might want to be a leader, but you'll never reach it because you're not practicing, right? And so, look, I just want to show this. Look, how many people? Look, come here. What number is this right here? What number is that?
88.
What number is that?
88.
Okay, so that's people that are applying for this position. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So there's people that are hungry for what you're doing, right? Like there's people applying every day, like hey, and so they might be practicing it already. You know what I'm saying? Like they might be already practicing to take a spot. And I'm not saying this like to that you're gonna lose your job or anything. I'm just saying like there's always gonna be someone that is willing to take you out. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always someone preparing to take you out. Someone that doesn't have a car right now, they're hungry, they're man, I fucking wanna do some shit. Right? And they're watching YouTube, they're reading, they're doing whatever they can to get better for that opportunity to take someone out. You know what I mean? So don't ever take like your position for granted, like always be getting better, you know what I mean? Reading, podcasts, practice, on your friends' cars or whatever, and you'll get better. And so the goal is to accelerate this. Accelerate this number because you can go from here to here as fast as you choose to do it. It could be 1 year, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 20 years, it could be 30 years, you know what I mean? Like I know some people that have been in the industry for 30 years and they still can't retire. Like they still can't retire because they're stuck with what they learned the first time they started doing, work. You know what I mean? So there's a saying, right? So the saying is like, people say, well, I've been doing this for 20 years. Have you ever heard someone say that? So the next time someone says, hey, I've been doing this for 20 years, right? Say, when was the last time you learned about the industry? When was the last time you read a book about the industry? Right? Because a lot of people will say, man, I've been working on cars for 20 years. When was the last time you took a course on fixing cars? Well, I don't need to take them because I've done that 20 years back when I was in college. So they don't have 20 years experience, they just been what? They've been doing the same thing for 20 years. And so eventually they become obsolete. Right? So on your phone, how many updates do you get on your phone, on your iPhone?
Not too many.
There's 4 a year. There's about four updates a year on your phone. What if the phone never got updated? Then it would become obsolete. It wouldn't be useful, right? So we're the same way. Like, we have to be consuming information, knowledge, skills to be able to, to navigate in the environment that we're, because we don't know what's gonna happen like in the next year or two with cars. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of be ahead of the game. Because if you're ahead of the game, then you have a better chance of staying in the game. Right? So this is the hockey stick philosophy of the mindset. But I know I just want to share that with you because right now, like, maybe you're not making the money that you want to be making. I know you want to make more money. You want to make more money. But give it time. Like, give it time. Most people, they'll commit to something, and you never know. Like, they can be right here, and they quit. You see? Like, they can be right here, and they say, man, you know what? Like, I'm gonna do something else. It's distractions. Like, it's life distractions because look, you can go on Instagram, you can go on Facebook, and you're gonna see someone that's in a different industry that is like, seems like they're making a lot of money, and you're gonna be like, man, I should probably do that. Right? Like, you might go to someone and say, oh man, this guy just sells houses. He's in real estate. He's a realtor, right? He has a nice car. He just has a nice office. Man, he's making a lot of money. I want to do that. And so you get distracted. And you're like, so then you jump into that industry and you put in the time and then you fall out. So you never master anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, right here is this is mastery right here. Mastery up here. Mastery. So you take your skill, you know how to use your skill and multiply it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no one ever showed me this shit, dude. Right? No one ever showed me this shit, but what I realized was, like, they put me in a dealership. I was the youngest one there. I was like 22. Everybody else was like 40, 50, 60, right? And I was making more money than them, right? And I was like, I would ask them, like, hey, like, what are you gonna, like, what's next? Like, because I was already making the same as money as them, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be doing this for fucking 30 years. Like, I'm gonna be stuck here for 30 years, right? And so I said, fuck that, I wanna, like, know business, And I'm giving y'all a game because with y'all's skill, you can use that skill to get into other things, you know what I mean, that are going to generate income. See? That's how it starts. Like, I can go into there's a pyramid, right? So look. There's a pyramid, right? And so right here, it's survival, right? So right here, have you ever been in survival mode? You don't have a job, you don't have no money, right? Like, you're like, fuck, I just want a fucking job, any job. People will call me and say, man, I'll do anything. Like, what do you want to? I was like, I don't want someone that's going to do anything. I need someone that can solve a problem. But they're so desperate because they're in survival mode, right? Okay, once you find a job, once you find somewhere, then this feeling is already it's already gone. Because you know you're gonna eat, you know you have a job, you know you have money, right? So the next step is you start to kind of get lazy, bored. because you're not having to go hunt anymore. You're not having to hunt. So you kind of get comfortable. You start to get a little bit lazy, right? Okay. Right here is where you can say, I'm gonna get lazy, or I'm gonna elevate. Okay. And when you elevate, you start to create more money. Because look, you don't have to worry about survival anymore. You don't have to worry about your income because you have a career. Now you can start investing in other things. Like you can start to invest. Like, for example, you told me that, hey, this weekend we're gonna go to the auction and we're trying to buy some cars to flip to make money, right? Because you're up here already. If you were in survival mode, what would you be saying? I need to go fucking find money for gas. You see the conversation's different. So don't, right here, this is giving you security. So don't get lazy in your security. Get better at it. Because look, eventually you're gonna say, hey, this weekend, me and my dad are gonna look at some houses because we're gonna buy houses to sell houses. It's bigger, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you start to expand because the survival's already taken care of. You just can't get lazy. When you get lazy, you get complacent, you stop growing. You stop learning. And when you become complacent, you become obsolete. Right? The next step is self-fulfillment. Self-fulfillment is like you don't fucking need anybody to make you happy. Like you're just fucking good. You understand who you are. Like you're more focused on yourself. Your personal needs. You're not materialistic, like any of that. You know what I mean? Like you're so focused on yourself. Everything materialistic becomes it just comes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not materialistic, but like we can go out to eat wherever we wanted if we wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not worried about it, because I'm already like up here. Like I'm focused on my health, my education, growing, teaching people, bringing people up. You know what I'm saying? I'm more focused on bringing people up than survival. You see the difference? Like right now, I'm up here teaching y'all to, hey, elevate, elevate, elevate. So there's a pyramid there. So don't fall for this trap right here. This trap. Whenever you get lazy or get bored, it's a sign that you don't have a target. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're in survival mode, your target is to eat, survive, pay bills. Like you have targets. When you get lazy or bored, you don't have a target. So you gotta say, okay, what can I set as a bigger target? You know what I'm saying? Like you're already thinking. I mean, you're thinking about how can I make more money. So that's good. And leadership is powerful. How important is leadership?
Very. People need someone to listen to or someone to listen to them.
So they need guidance.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big responsibility. Okay? But it's about understanding the language. I'm pretty sure that book taught you a lot of shit.
Yeah.
That's just one book.
Sobre cualquier como-